Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
In honor of Black History Month, we like to showcase the great Black contributions to the pop cultural landscape as we know it.
This year, we've been celebrating the milestones, heroes, and artistry depicting the Black experience.
So, without further delay, let's explore the history of Welcome Home, Franklin, on Black History Heroes 2024. All right, Dragon. I floodgates, man. This is all. This thing is awesome. I love it. I holy shit. Man. Talk about having faith in Apple to do the peanuts right, dude. I mean, I obviously don't know exactly how you feel about this, but I'm ready to gush about it, bro. I'm ready to gush about it. I think this is I will say this much, Dragon. I will put this in the pantheon of some of the all-time great Peanuts material that we've ever gotten. Like I think this is something truly special. I really do. And Dragon, just to tease it right now, because I really don't want to bury the lead on it. Dragon, that final scene, that final shot, you know which one I'm talking about?
I know exactly which one you're talking
Dragon,
about.
I literally screamed.
I know.
I literally screamed.
I thought the same thing when I saw it. Oh, Tiki's vindicated. This is his big vindication moment.
Dragon, that was oh my god. Oh my god. Damn. Yeah, okay. Let's get into it, Dragon. What do you think of this?
All right, so overall, as I've told you many times before, I've been loving, the Apple TV direction with the Peanuts. It really feels like ever since they did the movie, they've been trying to kind of capture that feeling in the Apple TV Plus Peanuts material. It feels like they're re-energized with that movie, and they brought it there when they in the past specials they had not really been bringing it. But I think ever since post movie and to the Apple stuff, they've been firing all cylinders, and this is yet another example of that. And I've seen a number of their recent stuff, and they've been doing some new holiday stuff too.
Yeah, I've heard about that. I heard that there was a new Christmas one out.
Well, it's mostly New Year's, but there was Christmas.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's called Old Lang Syne, so it kind of it builds the third act's all New Year's Eve, and it's kind of building towards New Year's. So, but there's like a hair of Christmas in there.
Got it.
Anyway, but yeah, so I've this specifically very thoughtful, just good to see more Peanut stuff. Period. But this is a lovely opportunity to right the wrong of never giving Franklin his proper due in the Peanuts. And I think we've course corrected that rather memorably here. It's cute. It's a celebration of friendship, and what's not to love? I too was head over heels.
You know what else it's a celebration of that I really resonate with, Dragon? It's a celebration of freaking social anxiety, man. Like, we'll get into it, but there are some very relatable moments of social
There's
anxiety.
one moment in there I was thinking, man, Tiki's really going to appreciate this moment.
I honestly, the moment you're thinking of could be several moments.
That's true.
Okay, so Dragon, yeah, how did we get to this point?
Yeah, so again, I guess the best way, as you can kind of see with the whole Snoopy Presents thing, Apple's big in once they really acquired the Peanuts was they did basically a series of they did the Snoopy Show. The Snoopy Show essentially is a bunch of like short vignettes of Snoopy doing things. That started with like Snoopy in space with the whole space branding they were doing between just in general Snoopy having a history with space travel, and there's a few of the Apollo things have been related to like there's a Snoopy and Charlie Brown, I think is what they've called like the rocket and the shuttle or something.
Oh,
and that was like what they initially started with. Plus, they had stuff like For All Mankind on Apple, so it was very much kind of like, hey, we're doing a space thing. And after that, then they started to do all these other additional specials. And apparently, it's from the sounds of things, there's been kind of a theme to them where they've been doing new specials, and the new specials have been really kind of the way what the Muppets have been trying to do lately, in a sense. They've been trying to kind of key in on specific characters besides Charlie Brown as the main focus. So far, I'm sure there's a few I'm missing because here's the thing: I do hate the way Apple lays it out. So I can't just like type. I can't go to like a peanut section like I can on the Disney Plus stuff, where it's not segmented like that. So you got to type in Peanuts, and I'm always paranoid that there's something not coming up because now it's under Snoopy Presents.
Oh yeah.
So you gotta look a little all over there. But the point being, we've had Snoopy, obviously. Peppermint Patty has a Mother's Day special. It's really good.
Oh, that's nice. I'll have to check that out.
Because that's the thing, Peppermint Patty doesn't have a mother, so that's the interesting thing. So it's Mother's Day,
And she doesn't really have a lot of presence in this special. So yeah, it's nice that they're kind of spreading the wealth.
So that's the thing. So you have Snoopy. There's Peppermint Patty, is a very memorable one. Marcy, I've not seen yet. Marcy has one.
Really?
Yeah,
that's kind of like in the same vein of Franklin, where it's like kind of like an underrepresented character.
Lucy is the New Year's. The New Year's is all about Lucy.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So it's actually, they gave her pathos too, which I'm not saying it'd be impossible to give Lucy pathos, but we actually, we just have like, oh, I'm gonna help my pumpkin patch obsessed brother out of the cold, like, a little more than that,
Sure, yeah.
And now Franklin.
Okay.
Probably
Schroeder next. Schroeder next, please.
Possible. Anyway, so again, we'll be getting these new specials again, like Mother's Day, New Year's, etc. This particularly, from what I understand, I can't verify this completely. I looked into a few interviews, but it's really the most I can find on it. It seems to be the passion project. I don't know if he pitched it in the room or not, because really the Schultz family has been highly involved in the new Peanut stuff, like they were with the movie, which I think has helped a great deal. But I think it feels like the driving force behind this one was someone who was welcomed to the Peanuts team back in the 90s. In 94, they did, I think it was 94, around 94, they did a Super Bowl special with the Peanuts.
Wait, was it like a halftime show?
Well, no, not like that. I just mean it's like the suit.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about. Okay, got it.
It's the Super Bowl Charlie Brown, like.
Okay.
And that was
they should have covered that. That would have been fun.
Yeah, I honestly,
this year was a damn good Super Bowl. But anyways, I digress.
Yeah, my point is, I completely forgot about that special. But
maybe next year. Maybe next year.
Maybe. So Rob Armstrong was, I think he was a writer. He was involved in it. I forget what capacity. But here's the thing, he's a cartoonist, so I believe he's either storyboarding or he was maybe involved in the writing. But probably storyboarding at that time, because Schultz was still around and actively involved in things. So Rob Armstrong, he worshipped Schultz growing up. As a fellow cartoonist, always striving to be like Schultz, and he had the opportunity to work with him. And this is really lovely, where Franklin never had a last name, and Schultz just kind of walked up to Rob Armstrong, having probably forged a nice little connection there. And Rob Armstrong said, like Charles said, this is going to sound unusual, but can I give Franklin your last name?
Oh, that's adorable.
So he always, and again, apparently this was not like a publicly shared thing. This is just like a moment between the two of them. That's how Franklin got his last name. It was like really meaningful to him. So I don't know if just they came around like the idea of like, hey, we're doing all these new specials. We're kind of highlighting the, like the side characters. We've never done anything. No one's in the past has given a crap about Franklin, sadly. So let's course correct that. Let's do something for Black History Month. Let's give Franklin a special. It's gonna be better than the Mayflower. Let's do it.
Oh my god, the fucking Mayflower! Oh my god, that's got to be up there for one of the worst Peanut specials, right?
Yeah.
Oh god,
absolute worst.
I
forget if it was ever shown.
That's the one with the actual adults represented in Peanuts form, right?
For the life of me, I can't remember. No, that's right. I'm saying for the life of me, I can't remember if they showed that in school or not. Because if they did, it was like that moment of like, assuming it was that moment of, oh my god. It's the Peanuts, and we're watching it in school, and it's for educational purposes. And then it starts, and it's like, oh no, this is not.
Oh god, it's like Cartoon All Stars or something.
It's like every time, like the dog's on screen, like yeah, and then it's like, oh. Like, there's Lucy, and
this is not my friend Marvin.
No, my friend Martin, Tiki.
Martin, Jesus Christ!
First of all, it's our friend Martin.
You know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of My Favorite Martian. That's a terrible thing to mix up those two. I'm terribly sorry. Oh,
anyway, point being, it's like, hey,
I feel like I just pulled a Larry David there.
There's Lucy, and she's like pouring water for the adults. So goody, just something like that. Anyway, so Anyways, the director on this, Raymond S. I always butcher. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. It's either Percy or Persai. Raymond S. Persai. This is interesting. So this guy, he's the voice of a famous Disney character.
Really?
Well, not famous, but they are kind of famous. He's the
Are kind of
voice.
famous. That's famous in my book. All right.
He is the voice of Flash from Zootopia.
Flash, 100-yard dash.
That is him, one and the
That's
same.
great. That's great.
He directed this. He's a good animation director. He has voiced a lot of stuff he's also worked on. He worked for the Phil Roman Company, which of course Phil Roman directed a number of almost all the Peanut, almost if not entirely all the Peanuts holiday specials.
Nice.
Like Phil Roman's the guy, so
Right.
he worked for Film Roman, which was started by Phil Roman. So it's kind of nice that we're getting him involved in this. One thing I'm going to mention, then we're just going to move on because the whole reason, there's an important historical significance to Franklin getting a Black History Month special.
Okay.
Now, famously, I think in the past I may have misquoted this. I want to get it actually right here. So apparently, the origin story of Franklin is that right after Martin Luther King was assassinated, a school teacher wrote a letter to Charles Schulz asking him to create a Peanuts character of color. And that was Franklin, and then we get the famous scene that we have replicated here, which I was geeking out about, which was the meeting on the beach. That was Franklin's introduction.
Oh, is that his first comic strip appearance?
Yeah, it was, and it was it was a big deal. It was the idea, like, hey, Charlie Brown is befriending a black child on the beach. This was huge back then. This is right after.
Okay, so that's really cool that the Charlie Brown and Franklin friendship kind of goes back to the roots of the character. That's great.
Absolutely, and again, this is right after Martin Luther King was assassinated. This is a big deal to get the kids to get along, and
that's crazy. That's crazy.
All right.
Okay, so I want to shout out Code Gias. Glad you could make it. He says, props to Charles Schulz for standing his ground about having Franklin in his comic strip despite pushback. He knew what the right thing to do was and didn't resort to pressure from others to do wrong.
Yeah.
Indeed. And of course, just to shout it out, Charles Schulz, Dragon, it's funny, I honestly can't really keep track of this. I'm pretty sure Santa Rosa, California was the town he was in his later years, right? I'm pretty sure that's the case.
Well, do you know where Coffee Lane is?
It might be in Santa Rosa. I can't say for sure. Because all I can say is Santa Rosa, California is decked out in peanuts. We have Snoopy's Home Ice. We have the Charles Schulz Museum. We literally have statues of Peanuts characters all over town. So, yeah.
He did frequent that ice ring. That was a big thing while he was
building some ice.
So yes, exactly. So it would stand I think that's where he was because he was doing stuff close to home with a lot of that stuff.
Because I know he's from the Midwest initially, right?
I believe so, but there was a little bit of moving.
Yeah, so maybe the moving thing in this case maybe was kind of an homage to that part of him.
A part of me would like to think so, but I don't know how frequently he did. I don't know how frequently, but it might just been one.
All right, well, I'm sorry. I don't mean to sidetrack us. I just want to shout out the Santa Rosa of it all because
all I know is he stayed at I think it was on Coffee Lane, but the nickname for the place was the Coffee Grounds.
All right. Okay, so Dragon, we start in kind of classic cartoon. I almost feel like this is a parody of you might be wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Careening in a soapbox with Charlie Brown here is screaming for our lives, and he's.
I feel like that's one of the oldest film cliches in the book at this point.
Well, it wasn't always a film cliche, but has now turned into one.
It is definitely now turned into a big film cliche. Yes.
I just turned that guy into an effing kebab, and your girlfriend saying
that's one of the best ones. That's definitely one of the best ones.
Your date's probably saying, "I thought this is it's a superhero." Into an effing kebab. Well, it's a love story.
I'll definitely have to rewatch the Deadpool movies before the third one for sure. Anyways.
All right, so we're opening mid soapbox race. We meet Franklin. So again, this whole thing serves as an origin story for Franklin, which is also pretty big too. So the whole context. Of this
yeah, totally.
All right, so it sets the tone that this is Franklin's story, not Charlie Brown's story. We backtrack to again the origin point for Franklin here. So the backstory on Franklin is that we never knew. It's also very cool here. So his father is in the military, and he's seemingly he's a pilot. He's surrounded. We see planes in the picture, so I guess he might be in the Air Force specifically, that branch of the military. And because of that, they're moving around. Which the time of the Peanuts would happen a lot. You have kids that are moving around a lot for the military, and it's always
right,
down
yeah.
routes. So this is a very relatable situation to give Franklin. It feels like I thought off the bat, I thought this was an excellent choice. Like to give him, how are you going to make Franklin kind of feel like an outsider?
Mm.
He's going from place to place, and he's living out of. We literally show he's living out of a suitcase.
Yeah, so the scene where the kids want the basketball back and they really don't give two shits about him personally.
Exactly.
That was stab in the heart #1 for me. Stab in the heart #1.
I like how it gets teed up and
there.
I like how it pays off later too, like the whole
thing.
Yeah. All right. So now this is what touched this kind of touched me in the heartstrings here. The idea that we don't say what the deal is with his grandpa, but we say that he had a notebook from his grandfather.
I love that. I love that as a plot device.
He had all these little tips for him on how to make friends, given that he's moving all over the place. All these little kind of like icebreaker conversational points, which is a really.
I think that was a really clever way to get like the adult perspective in here without actually having adult dialogue.
Yeah, I mean, we do have we still have the wah 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 on the screen, but yeah, this is we're kind of we're playing around with it here.
I will say this special has one of the most like heartwarming adult interactions that I've ever seen in Peanuts.
Yeah,
we'll get there when we get there. It's towards the end.
Anyways. Okay, so this is kind of big, and to my knowledge, this might be. I don't know if this is a first for the Peanuts ever. I'm sure it's like some obscure thing we might not be thinking of. Not counting Snoopy Come Home, obviously, but even then, I think it's still an exception. Peanuts needle drops. We have needle drops in this.
Oh yeah, you're right. I didn't even really think about that. Yeah,
because Snoopy Comes Home doesn't even count because those are songs written for the movie. These are like
exactly. Sherman Brothers songs.
So these are.
Dragon, have I ever told you about the first time that I saw Snoopy Come Home?
Maybe. We talked about Snoopy Come Home. I don't know if you mentioned what happened the first time you saw it.
It was literally on the Disney Channel, and I just stumbled on it, and I had no idea what it was. I was just like, ooh, Peanuts! And I was like 8 years old. I had no idea what I was in for.
I knew there were depressing themes in the Peanuts, but
oh my god, that scene, the going away party, oh my god. I was like, what is this? All right, anyways.
This is betrayal, Snoopy.
Anyway. Oh, Jesus.
So, seriously, the needle drops, all very well chosen, I felt. I love the whole Nothing from Nothing song. So I love that this was used, and it felt perfect. And again, it's of the era. It's of the 70s era. And was this, so Franklin was in it. Fun fact, sorry to take it, just serendipitous. You mentioned Snoopy Come Home. First appearance of Franklin.
Wait, really? I thought it, for some reason, I thought it was...
He doesn't say anything, but he's in the background.
So is the Thanksgiving special his first speaking role then?
Here's the thing. I'm trying to remember.
Maybe I'm literally just associating him in my brain in the Thanksgiving special with that one infamous shot. I thought there was some sort of other significant thing with him in the Thanksgiving special.
Well, no. Here's the thing.
I could be wrong.
If memory serves, it's Snoopy Come Home. Then there's one of the not Valentine's Day, but essentially it's an offshoot. It's like the whole like You're Not Ready for Love, Charlie Brown, or something like that. And then it's Thanksgiving.
Got it. Okay.
I think that's how it goes. And even then,
Thanksgiving was probably his most prominent role up to that point.
It is. Well, even this way, it's the most viewed because everyone's going to watch the Thanksgiving special. So that's where people really.
Even though it's definitely the weakest of the major holiday specials.
Well, no. New Year's is the weakest of the holiday specials.
Okay, that's fair. I don't think Is there an old New Year's one? The one?
Yeah, we talked about that. We were very
Oh my god! Yeah. Oh, I remember now. Yeah, it was very underwhelming. It was so underwhelming.
So that easily is the weakest of the. I mean, even Arbor Day is better than that. See, here's the only thing the New
Arbor Day I think I kind of appreciate just for the sheer novelty of its existence.
I'm just saying, look, the baseball comedy is funny. Okay, the whole like everything that happened there now. The problem with New Year's, aside from War and Peace, that's the only good takeaway you have.
Oh God! Oh, the War and Peace stuff. Oh my God!
That's the
Yeah.
good stuff. The War and Peace is fine, but even with the War and Peace, you still have to question. There's too many logistics. Like, is no one else doing this book report? Are they all signed War and Peace? Or are they allowed different books? And why did Charlie Brown get stuck with War and Peace?
There's a war going on out there somewhere, and Andre isn't here. That is a War and Peace reference, sir. Anyways.
Anyway, my point being, yeah. So even then, like Franklin, even in the Thanksgiving special, barely has a line. Yet still,
right.
most
Yeah.
memorable Franklin thing. It literally
Memorable for all the wrong reasons.
Here's the thing. You know what's so funny about that to me? Every time I think of that, I'm like, oh yeah, this is it. Every time for me, it's like this is my introduction to Franklin. This is where the first time I saw Franklin. I keep thinking of like, oh, we have a literal spelled out introduction of Franklin. Like, hey, this is our friend Franklin.
Right, yeah.
Like on the phone, Charlie Brown, can he come? We're just introducing him now. It seems.
Exactly. Right.
The special everyone's gonna care
about.
You know
what? Now that you mention that, that's probably exactly why I thought it was his first appearance.
Yeah. Okay, so we have Nothing from Nothing. Really good 70s choice. So we have Montage.
Was that song ever on an Awesome mix?
No.
I'm surprised. They should work that into like a theme park ride or something at some point. I wouldn't be surprised if it was part of Cosmic Rewind.
It'd be nice.
Anyways.
It's a really, every time I think of
it, doesn't it feel like just something that would be on an Awesome mix?
I want to know something. When you heard that song, were you thinking of Be Kind Rewind?
No. I'm sorry. I've only watched Be Kind Rewind once.
Every time I hear that song, I think of Be Kind Rewind because I think it's in a montage during the movie, but also it was like the trailer for that movie, which I remember the trailer very well.
Yeah.
For that,
the trailer. I mean, anyway. The thing with Be Kind Rewind, I've like we literally talked about the possibility of doing that movie for this year, but the thing about that movie for me is like I appreciate the jazz history stuff, but I think the jazz history stuff just really clashes with literally the title of the movie and what the movie was sold as. So I'm very mixed on that movie. I think I'd like it more if I saw it again. I don't know.
Tiki, I meant to ask this earlier. Huh? Do you have a running gag handy by chance?
Oh yes, yes, I do. Dragon,
yes. No, don't use it yet. But we're gonna need it. We're gonna need it real soon.
Yeah, it's here. It's here.
Just want to make sure. Okay, good. Okay. So we have a montage, and get that finger ready, buddy.
Oh,
okay. So, we arrive in town after a nice montage, going from place to place, making our way to the Peanuts town. We see a lack of variety and we do this very visually, in a way. I love this joke so much. Okay, Franklin arrives. He's looking out the window.
He's basically saying, like, "Wow, this town's pretty white."
Yeah, they're literally. There's such a lack of variety, and we see them all with vanilla ice cream.
Yup. I didn't even notice the vanilla ice cream.
Yes, seriously. I know it's gonna sound we're going on a major food tangent again. We probably are, but just go with me on this, okay? There is an arc with the ice cream. It's very subtle.
Oh, no, I think I know exactly what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
That last shot.
Oh, man.
Anyway, so just while we have all the Peanuts characters partaking in vanilla ice cream, we should probably note.
Okay. Oh, God.
And in case they have a nice visual to sum it up there, maybe we should too. And that visual would be this. This is kind of our banner for that represents who we are.
Glorious.
So you want to be an Imagineer, not counting our special guest star Rohit Dar. Tiki and myself, whitest white man on the internet. So white you could say, if you needed like an example, David Hyde Pierce skiing in a blizzard.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's more pigmentation in this picture than there is in my skin, Dragon. I gotta say. Anyway.
So again, if we sound sensitive in the matters of Black History Month, this would be the reason why, kids.
Yeah, we basically do Black History Heroes as a way to educate ourselves, essentially. You know, not necessarily the audience. Like the audience just kind of gets to come along for the ride. Anyways,
they get to ride down the ski slope with us.
God. All right.
Okay. Anyway, so again, so the vanilla ice cream gag is kind of funny, but it's literally a tasteful gag. It's a tasteful joke that kind of sums it all up. Okay. So let's see.
I think we
Okay.
get to he's trying to make friends, right? And we
Yes,
have Linus at first.
yeah, he's trying to make friends, and we have a nice way of like we're kind of homaging, kind of referencing the big past Peanut specials, and we have Linus. Like the hallmarks and kind of specials of the Peanuts get referenced in kind of his little introductory. They're nice reintroductions to the classic Peanuts gang.
Uh
So Linus is preparing the pumpkin patch for the Great Pumpkin's arrival, probably months early.
huh. I gotta say though, these are very visually appealing pumpkins.
It has been forever since Linus has mentioned the Great Pumpkin, so this is kind of you're right. They are visually appealing
I
pumpkins.
will say though, like because Linus is like obviously one of the pillars of Peanuts, not really a great representation for him in the special. Like I feel like he's kind of there's Charlie Brown has a good line about him, and he is the one to initiate the epic final shot. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe we can do something with him in the future. That's not just like, hey, it's the Pumpkin Kid.
Yeah, admittedly, again, I think in all fairness, we haven't referenced the Great Pumpkin since the Great Pumpkin, really.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate the reference. I just kind of feel like this, I feel like there's a lot more to his character than just that, which the special does acknowledge. But
I think they just wanted something to go wrong, or okay, it's one way Franklin, because otherwise he just has a blanket. But what's one way Franklin can kind of he's gonna divine the pumpkin. And we don't mean like make a pumpkin come out of nowhere. He's gonna literally divine the pumpkin.
But before he even does that, Dragon, I think even literally even more painful than the pumpkin thing is the bombed joke. Dragon, I know you've been here. I know you've been here socially, right?
Yeah.
You make a joke and it just does not land, and no one knows what to say afterwards, and it's literally the most painful thing ever.
You can hear the flies coming off that joke.
I hate it. I hate it. I legitimately, this feeling literally will send me into a panic, Dragon. Oh my god. Literally, some of the most panic-inducing moments of my life have been because of stuff like that.
If I told you this joke, would you laugh? Like genuinely laugh, not just like pity laugh?
No, I would not. I would not. I would be like, Okay. Yeah.
I like that.
Basically, my reaction would basically be Linus's reaction. I'd be like, wordplay.
I like this joke, and I love how it comes back with Charlie Brown.
Here's the thing: the timing on it with Charlie Brown is freaking perfect, and I would laugh in that situation.
Yeah. Plus, they're at a beach, so.
Well, not just the beach, but like the context of the wave. Anyways.
All right. Anyway, so Linus, it's a no-go there. Doesn't go off swimmingly, doesn't go off terribly, but he's traumatized the pumpkin zealot. So. Okay, I love too. Like he calls it, like the big pumpkin.
I know. That is like the biggest insult of all, honestly.
He says, "Tell the big pumpkin I'm sorry." It's I love it. It's
I'm honestly kind of low-key surprised they didn't have a beat where Linus is like, "It's not the big pumpkin, it's the great pumpkin. What's wrong with you?"
It feels. Here's the thing. It does. In this case, it does feel appropriate to kind of Linus to take this one on the chin because it's still ridiculous. No one set him straight about the great pumpkin.
Right,
it's like okay, he does say that Linus is like the level-headed Peanut of the bunch, but he's still.
That's what I've always really appreciated about his character, though. He's very level-headed, but he also definitely has his quirks. I can relate to that.
Yep. Okay. So, let's see. So anyway, next he sees what appears to be a girl with a lemonade stand.
Oh boy!
He's got a glass of lemonade there. He throws in a nickel and he downs the lemonade, trying to hey, I'll patronize the stand. But
I will say this moment is kind of on him. This moment's kind of on him. He should have read the sign.
Yes, he should have, but only in the Peanuts would you ever see a stand like this, though.
No, totally. Oh, God.
Hey, let me ask this: do you think you would have ever tried this as a kid? Do you think you would have ever tried the therapy stand for like the nickel?
Not if it was Lucy running it.
No.
That's
I
the
mean, like, no.
thing.
I mean, would you run it? Would you like build like as a
Oh,
kid
oh
making
God, no,
lemonade?
absolutely not. I don't trust myself with mental health matters, Dragon. I can barely handle myself.
It'd be
All right,
funny though
anyways.
if someone actually had like a. I would laugh so hard if I saw like a kid instead of a lemonade stand had like an actual like therapist like psychiatrist stand.
I've
Therapy
told you
5 cents.
that the Charles Schultz Airport in Santa Rosa, the information kiosk is themed to Lucy's psychiatrist booth, right? I've told you that.
I don't think you told me that specifically.
Yeah,
That's nice.
pretty awesome.
Yeah. Okay,
There's a big
so
hiding tree in there. Anyways,
love it. So they get off on the wrong foot there. He thinks she's like selling lemonade and everything, and then she explains the whole therapy stand. This is like, well, how are your patients? Like I'll violate doctor-patient confidentiality.
I love how genuinely offended she gets at that.
Well, she takes her practice very seriously too. You know how many
That
nickels
to
she
me,
gets?
kind of low key felt like a Larry David moment.
Oh yeah.
What? I was just making small talk. I was just making small talk.
If memory serves, I showed you that SNL parody with the Peanuts, right?
Of what?
Essentially, they did they did like a play version of the Peanuts, and essentially all the SNL cast members are doing impressions of celebrities who were cast to do like a Broadway show with the Peanuts. And you
I
have
don't
like
think you have showed me that.
you have Bill Hader as Al Pacino as Charlie Brown.
Oh my god.
You have Edie Falco. We have like Kate McKinnon as Edie Falco as Lucy, and you had the main reason I bring it up. You have
Oh no.
I think it could be crazy. I think it's Martin Short as Larry David as
Oh my
Linus.
god. As Linus. Oh my god. I need to see that. I need to see that. Jesus Christ. I need to. I literally am tempted to pause this recording right now and look that up. All right. Anyways.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Anyway, so she says she dabbles in it all, listing off all the stuff that she treats. Like okay, pseudo doctor. Just you got a devotee to the Great Pumpkin. This is that not going well. Then there's Pigpen, the germaphobe. Says
Oh,
says Lucy. So Pigpen. So then he seemingly sees like Snoopy in the dog like pose. Like finally a normal dog who is then befriending his bird companion, and just shenanigans ensuing.
Grabs his surfboard. Cowabunga.
Yep, I'm in the Twilight Zone. It's pretty much what he says. Like I'm in the Twilight Zone. I don't believe this.
Oh,
So
man.
that's a nice transition point to the iconic beach scene.
It is a good transition, yeah.
So Franklin, he's
At first, when Snoopy was surfing, I was like, "Oh my god, are we gonna get a whole subplot of Snoopy being like the king of the beach?" Because I will say, just the lack of like a distracting Snoopy subplot, I honestly think that might put this like just a hair above the Peanuts movie. I know that sounds crazy, but I like this special that much. I honestly think I would go there.
Tiki, here's the thing, man. No matter how much this gets right, okay, no matter how much any of these specials gets right, okay, no matter how distracting a Snoopy subplot might be in the Peanuts movie, nothing, and I mean nothing the Peanuts do, is ever going to supplant like Charlie Brown's victory at the end of that Peanuts movie. Like the ending of that movie, nothing is going to ever supplant that.
Dragon, I honestly think that the ending of this is like that's my equivalent of that. Honestly,
I mean, we literally get the whole like the sketch and for Shoals thing, like the whole. I
know.
I don't think it's. I don't know.
Anyways,
Okay, so the iconic beach scene here. This again parallels and basically adapts how Charlie Brown and Franklin met in the comic strip, where they're on the beach. The beach ball finds its way to one of them, and they kind of walks on over, and they kind of get a chat, and then they shows in the sandcastle. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, this is he hits him with the ocean joke, and it actually works.
I love how genuinely excited Franklin was that he was the one to bring up the joke.
Yeah, and so again, there's a nice meta context to this, where we're righting the wrong of Franklin being alone, or like being the token Black Peanuts character. We're seeing in this moment, okay, he has a lot in common with Charlie Brown. This is like a really good case for race relations. This is like,
It's a really awesome idea to kind of like, very much expand on the very simple concept that was in the comic,
here's something
and really
really
show like kind of like the roots of why this relationship would be relatable.
absolutely, yeah. And again, it's a really nice moral. Then it's a moral for then. I guess technically it's still like a moral for now. Just the whole thing is the showcase. Kids of different races can be fast friends. It's a really good, pure and nice moral there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. So, also this was really nice. I love the detail barber, like the real life Charles Schulz's father,
I
and
did love that
they
detail,
mentioned.
yes.
I love mentioning.
And
Oh, my
also the
my
gag
father.
of like the whole like, well, he's always got plenty of hair to cut, or like, how does it go? How does it go?
Well, uh, well,
I'm sorry, I'm
there's
kind of putting you on the spot with that. You know what gag I'm talking about?
uh I think so. I think there's always going to be a hair to cut because like it's a never ending. Like everyone, there's
And
always going
it's
to be a
kind of
hair to
like a
cut.
nod to like, yeah, but not in Charlie Brown's case.
Nope. In that sense, you want to be real. Again, the cruelty of Charlie Brown here is like it's like yet again, my son has disappointed me.
Exactly, exactly.
My son is an insult to my profession, and
Oh
it's
my
not his
god.
fault.
I'm sure you've heard of the cancer like urban legend, right?
Yeah, I heard
I
about it.
don't
Yeah.
necessarily subscribe to it, but
I've heard like it's kind of funny. Once in the second, not as good as the first one, Valentine's Day special for the Peanuts. So like there's Be My Valentine, it's the good one. That's the original one, and then you have a Charlie Brown Valentine. Charlie Brown Valentine's like in that era, like it's an okay follow up. It has a few cute gags, and one of them is not a cute gag, but one of them is Linus is trying to put in a good word. The little red hair girl trying to like sell Charlie Brown to her, and he mentions like, oh, he's basically trying to describe him, and one was like, his hair kind of blonde.
oh god.
Anyway, but yeah, so it's the idea of Charlie Brown, the Franklin's father's in the military. He's like, oh, my father was in the service as a barber. It's kind of nice.
Mhm.
It makes sense. It would be a useful thing if you were in the service. It's absolutely what his father would do. It makes sense.
Sure, sure.
Okay. So next day, there's kind of a sad, abrupt leaving here, where he had to go. His mother was calling him, but friends like, maybe we could hang out. Okay,
Yeah, 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 totally, totally.
but again, progress. Now here's the scene I was thinking about you with. Okay,
Oh, okay, okay, hit me.
so it's next day. We have this great new
Oh, yeah, I know
location.
exactly what you're talking about. Yep, yep.
One, we have this great new location. The pizza place is awesome. The most awesome pizza place ever. Let's just say that
And
off the
it's
bat.
I agree, and it's a perfect Peanuts location.
All right, so like seemingly
It made me
Snoopy's like,
yearn for the days of old childhood pizza birthday parties, Dragon.
oh yeah. Snoopy's like looks like he's like a cook at the pizza place. He's making the pizzas with Woodstock.
Yep.
Anyway, so Lucy is like ranting about Franklin. He kind of hears him. We see the social anxiety take hold, where he's hearing people say stuff about him.
Dragon, honestly, low key, if I heard people talking shit about me, I would probably never speak to them again. I'm very fragile when it comes to that shit.
Mm.
I'm not completely serious, but it's it hurts, Dragon. It hurts. It really does for me.
Someone said, "I bet Tiki smells funny."
God.
Yeah. Anyway, so he again while he's outside, kind of lingering and kind of like, oh man, I can't go in there. But again, that's a classic Peanut strip moment. There's the anxiety of childhood, like, oh no, I can't go in they're
Totally,
not going to be
totally.
happy. So, the soapbox, Shermie crashes the soapbox in preparation for the big soapbox derby.
I thought that was nice because Shermie's definitely one of the characters that's very underrepresented
If
as far
memory
as screen
serves,
time. So I thought it was nice that he was the one to kind of like initiate the major plot.
I could be wrong, but if memory serves, Shermie first peanut along with Charlie Brown that we ever see in the strip.
I think you're right. I think he's part of the duo. That's like there
He's the
goes
one,
Charlie
yeah,
Brown. Yeah, yeah.
exactly. How I hate him. Like Shermie's the one who says how I hate him. Yeah, Shermie, crash that soapbox, you jerk. You shepherd jerk.
That's actually kind of random when you think about how like inconspicuous Shermie is as a character.
You're
Like
wondering why you're a
forward.
shepherd, Shermie? That's why you're a shepherd.
God.
Okay, that's the part you get. You're gonna like it every
Maybe that's
year.
why he doesn't have a lot of screen time. He's just so disgusted by Charlie Brown that he doesn't even want to be around him at all.
You're green, Shermie, with envy.
Oh my god.
Okay, so the point being, we very similar, a little similar to Luca to some degree here. We have basically the Portorosso Cup, so to speak, with the big soapbox derby. It's going to solve all
It's
our problems.
Luca with way more pathos, honestly.
Oh, come on, that's a little.
No, Luca has pathos for sure, but this has genuine stakes. I feel like because Luca has pathos, but it doesn't necessarily have stakes, and that's honestly one of the things that's nice about Luca is kind of the lack of stakes. But it's still, like this, it's like you're genuinely like it feels like one of those childhood life or death things.
Yeah. All right. So basically, if you win the soapbox derby, you get a trophy and you get free pizza for a year. Which that's an awesome soapbox derby. That's how you get everyone to do a soapbox
That's a
derby.
great prize.
Yeah. So everyone pairs up and duo. I like the idea you need a duo for the soapbox car because you have someone manning the brakes and someone doing the steering. I love that idea.
So this was another possibility where when you said you had something that directly reminded me of me. Like this, I've absolutely been here, Dragon. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Everyone teaming up. I don't have a partner. Dragon, I will say that the most terrifying 3 words that I could possibly hear in high school was "find your partner."
Oh.
Yeah, I every time those 3 words were uttered, I was like, okay, here comes the social humiliation, baby.
Yep.
And here's the thing, Dragon. It's not even that I was like not well liked in high school because I wasn't like bullied or anything, but I wasn't really anyone's best friend, right? I wasn't really anyone's first choice. Anyways,
Where's the ancillary anxiety written one? Where is it?
God, exactly.
Like he's not like he's not like the most avoidable person in here, but he's like in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, pretty
He's
much.
ancillary enough. Where's the
Cool.
ancillary one?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh God.
So
I literally was hanging out with the stoner kids in high school before I even started smoking weed. They were just kind of my crowd. Anyways.
what's that ancillary smell? Oh, it's him. Okay. So like he doesn't see he's not bad enough to be like cool in quotes, but he's he's hanging around. He's in the middle somewhere. He's middling.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's middling, but
I'm
not
like
dinner
Clay
party
Jensen
middling.
in 13 Reasons Why. I'm like I wander between the tribes.
He's clay to be molded. All right.
God.
All right, let's see. So the Charlie Brown, Franklin, they pair, but again, it's not a loss here. They have befriended each other on the beach. So it's kind of sad that
Totally.
Charlie Brown's own dog, pick someone else. Anyway, so they're in a garage. They're so after a little Franklin stands his ground with Lucy's. Everyone's like grabbing the parts with the soapbox car and everything, and Lucy's like kind of like, oh, you got paired up with Charlie Brown, you're doomed.
Yeah.
Essentially, so we're kind of setting that up, a little rivalry with Lucy, and he calls her Lemonade Girl. Okay, so we're in the garage. The Charlie Brown and Franklin, they're starting to build the car. I like the little detail, like they have like some plumbing pipes and everything, just to give it the hot rod look. And it's such an innocent line of thought for Charlie Brown. Like when I saw his hot rod magazine, I thought maybe we could add the pipes on there. Well, it won't make us go faster, but it'll psych the other people out.
Mm.
All right, let's see. So they borrow Sally's wagon wheels, which it's going to come back.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Let's see. So they get to know each other a little bit here, and we have like the mutual interest. Again, this is like per the little the notebook, the grandfather. They find common interests or discuss things with each other.
This sequence
So
is pretty much like the Black History Month segment of the special.
yeah. Now we've
Yep.
established Charlie Brown loves baseball, so
Uh,
here we educate Charlie Brown, Jackie Robinson, which is really neat.
wow, you could really learn a lot by hanging around with you, Franklin.
Yeah, I do love the whole.
I love the James Brown
Yeah,
shot. I love it. I love it. I feel like that shot is like almost like a Warhol-esque Dragon.
and that's the thing too. This is what I'm saying with the whole needle drop thing. We're introducing something we've never seen with the Peanuts. Really, we've never name dropped like this before. Like Stevie Wonder, James Brown. Any relation?
Also, I love Charlie Brown going full Ryan Gosling and La La Land on the Jazz.
Yeah.
What do you think? Ryan Gosling is adult Charlie Brown? I could see it. I could see it.
Okay.
All right. Anyways, I'm sorry.
Regardless, let's see. We have I love the cute gag about like the whole no relation gag. Like, hey, James Brown, any relation? And they laugh at that. And on the flip side, it's like Neil Armstrong, any relation?
Right.
Very cute. Then he plays some John Coltrane jazz, which is man, it's really nice. Is the Coltrane jazz. It's a cute little montage. They're building the thing. They're painting it. And
I really like how the jazz like leads to the montage of the building. I feel like that thematically fits really well.
Yeah, and I gotta be honest. This is gonna sound real hokey, but again, this is why we have a David Hyde Pierce image.
Should I pull it up?
I mean, you can if you want to give a little bit of a backdrop. We were talking about the stuff that we're unqualified to talk about, so
All right.
Unlike Niles, we are not doctors.
Well, keep in mind, Dragon. I want to remind the audience again. This is not Niles Crane. No. This is David Hyde Pierce. There is a difference.
I think jazz is a really nice connecting point between races in some sense, because I think everyone likes jazz.
Yeah, totally.
It's like the perfect olive branch, It's like everyone can hear jazz, and you're like, I think there's a difference though between like jazz, which I like, and I think we all kind of in general like, but then you have like New Orleans jazz, like okay, that's real jazz, and that might be too jazz.
You know what's interesting? I like New Orleans jazz, like atmospherically, like in a nice restaurant or something. But it's not something I'd listen to on my own. Whereas like John Coltrane, I would definitely listen to on my own, or Miles Davis or something.
Let me put it to you this way: there's New York jazz, and then there's New Orleans jazz. New Orleans jazz is very much you go to a jazz club and you're going to hear really experimental, very much like we're playing notes and we're going to see what. New York jazz is very much that one's kind of like that's improvised jazz, but that's like improvised in kind of like in a sense where it's like you're feeding off the other players,
It's exactly what Ryan Gosling was talking about in La La Land, Dragon. He's preaching the gospel. He knows what he's talking about, Dragon. That man. I'm sorry, I'm being sarcastic. I'm sorry.
Were any of my points?
That is definitely yes. I agree. That's definitely the one element of La La Land that I don't think is aged all too well is Ryan Gosling just white educating people about jazz.
Yeah.
Anyways. But no, I hear exactly what you're saying, Dragon. I totally get you.
Yeah. But again, this is our Black History portion, I think, really of the whole special here, where we're kind of we're seeing, Charlie Brown and Frank kind of learn from each other and kind of get to know each other, and then talking about what do you want to be when you grow up, Charlie Brown? I really do like baseball.
This is a really good connecting point. I really like this as kind of like a way for Franklin to kind of voice his frustration at his situation.
It's interesting. Think about this in some sense. Franklin's goal is the theoretical, because they're not 100% sure here, but pie in the sky thinkers could be a ball player. Charlie Brown's could be a ball player and go to different cities and everything, see the world. And Franklin's well, it's not all it's cracked up to be, being a kid who's moved around, where he wants to go to space, be an astronaut. His father's in the Air Force, what's the more fantasy kind of version of that, of course, especially around the 60s, sky's the limit. Astronaut go into space again. It's separated from it's the ultimate reclusiveness. It's going off the planet into space.
I like
You
it.
know, in a place where you can't easily move around. Where it's like you go to space, you're gonna be there.
Sure, yeah.
You know. So anyway, so again, I look at them drinking sodas and talking about all the life stuff. Okay. Anyway, so then after the little Neil Armstrong gig, Peppermint Patty is a monster truck.
Pretty appropriate, yeah.
Linus and Pigpen, they got the
I
well,
like
they're
Linus and Pigpen as a duo. I must say that is a very amusing contrast between those two personalities.
yeah, and this is where we have like Franklin asking, so what's with the pumpkin patch thing? So yeah, he's got his quirks, but he's my best.
Yeah. Let's talk about that really quick. Let's address that because I do like that. That's like the one thing that saves this episode from like stereotyping Linus is just like the weird pumpkin kid. Like I like that they do address that Linus is a very complex, multi-layered character that's incredibly loyal.
Honestly, I think that's kind of the imperative for all these specials that they're doing. We're showing as much as as much as we identify the Peanuts by their iconic traits and quirks, as much as we do that, these specials have been layering these characters, which is something really like Franklin, for example. Franklin's not just the token black peanut; he's more than that, as we see here. Lucy, let's just say in that New Year's thing, we see that there's a lot of insecurity there.
Ooh,
that she's masking. We have again Peppermint Patty. There's like she grew up without essentially it sounds like she grew up without a mother. She had her father, and doing so maybe that kind of leads the suggestion that's why she is kind of like what she's the tomboy that she is. Possible. So you see what I mean? Like we're adding like these layers to him. Linus, as you said, again we got more to Linus than just being like the weird pumpkin patch kid or the blanket boy.
yeah, totally. Or the weirdly religious, preachy one.
Yeah. Let me tell you about Miles Standish. Sit down. Hey, pull up this virgin daiquiri thing that we have on the table for some reason. Let me tell you about Miles Davis. Frankly, you sit over there. Let me tell you about Miles Davis.
All right.
Sorry, we went from Miles Standish to Miles Davis just for the heck of it. But okay. Let's see. Okay, anyway, moving on from. Okay, so point we set up the whole friendship theme here. He knows a best friend is someone who knows you better than you know yourself. Is essentially the operative point of the scene here. So we have the big test drive scene. So Charlie Brown, he is hugging that brake, and I'm in Charlie Brown's shoes here. Like, yeah.
I like this when I go karting, Dragon.
But again, I just love the whole idea of the soapbox. If you have these two people in this position where one's it's a dual control thing. You need both. There's got to be a lot of trust there. And again, these guys are friends, and this whole special is so interesting that it's about no friendship being perfect. That's the moral we have by the end of this thing. So we're seeing that they're not like perfect buddy. It's not a match made in heaven right off the bat, though. It's like these guys, we're reaching our low of lows moment here, where Charlie Brown hugs the brake too much. Franklin's a little too gun ho, and it leads to this crash.
I will say, I very much think this is Franklin's fault way more than it's Charlie Brown's fault.
I would agree, but that's the thing. Like, Franklin is rushing into the friendship because he's desperate for companionship.
Dragon.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Is Franklin rushing or is he dragging?
Well, technically, he's rushing. Charlie Brown's dragging. So that's what's going on here.
Oh my god, that's a freaking deep cut, man. That's a deep cut. Anyways.
No, Tiki, this is a deep cut. Are you rushing or are you dragging?
Are you rushing or are you dragging, little Ricky?
Yeah, that's a deep cut.
Okay, honestly, Dragon, I think a podcast that we should do at some point is just a retrospective of all our running gags over the years, honestly.
Yeah, like the rock soup.
Oh my god, I forgot about the rock soup. Jesus Christ.
The rock soup, we have Electra.
Yeah, what was that? Black Socks. Like so many from Bates Motel alone,
yeah,
honestly.
We have a number of normal
I'm writing a book! About what?
Max Theriot as a young Bruce Wayne.
We have Dylan. All right.
Dylan.
Oh God, so much.
Hello, Matthew.
Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm trying. Okay, God, sorry.
Splishy splash it in the blood and all that sort of stuff. Anyway.
All right. One day
Okay,
we'll do a retrospective on. I feel like people like Code Geass kind of need that from us.
Yeah. So I like. What do you think about like the name transition on the soapbox? Because initially it's called Unstoppable, and then later on when they rebuild it, it's called Friendship.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Although I will say that I think the one thing that should have been legitimately called Friendship was the car with the sail on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But how cool is that sail, though?
You know, from a distance, even though there's no motor, one could say it looks like a little motorboat.
Oh my God! There we go. That I feel like that's one of the that's on the Mount Rushmore of running gags.
Yeah, the little motorboats are very key. Well, again, just given it's the beginning, it's it's Book of Genesis for us.
Right, exactly.
Second thing we ever did was the little motorboats.
Oh man. All right.
All right, so. All right, so let's see. So the
all the I will say all the power ups and stuff, like the various ways that the cars pass each other, definitely makes me yearn for a Peanuts Mario Kart clone.
Yes, I'm sorry. Before that, we got to talk about the low of lows too.
Yeah, you're right. We did kind of skip over that. How did we skip over that? Jesus.
Well,
all right.
Okay. So it's really unique here again, where we see the imperfections in the friendship here, where they're kind of like Franklin's upset with Charlie Brown here over hugging the brakes by him like telling him to, but like you were going way too fast, and I love that it's kind of like what's not said in this argument. They're just making their points and just like standing firmly. You know what? I have to go. Yeah, me too.
I think Franklin's like doubly in the wrong here because again, kind of his fault that he was kind of like, not listening to Charlie Brown, who was clearly in the right about the brakes thing. And B, I think the one thing he says that's really like stepping over the line was like, Lemonade Girl was right about you.
Which out of context sounds insane, but in context, yes.
God. Dragon, the boy band that the Disney Channel came up with, Lemonade Mouth. Do you remember Lemonade Mouth, Dragon?
No.
I don't either. The only thing I remember about Lemonade Mouth was seeing the title on the TV and thinking it's stupid. Anyways, I don't even know where I'm going with this. Lemonade Mouth, Lemonade Girl. Anyways.
Anyway, can I just take a moment to gush about the animation?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Please, by all means. I love the animation in this.
So I love our transition from here's the thing. So the Apple TV Peanuts stuff, I've been geeking out about how crisper and more cinematic the image and the lighting is, because we have this beautiful transition. We have like the magic hour, like like the sundown lighting of the low of lows, and then we transition to the somber atmosphere with the rain and like Snoopy like holding his ear up to cover like all the little wood stocks from getting wet. And like the neon pizza sign, which again is like it's the goal, and it's kind of going out right now. So it's just then like the morning fog and lit by the lantern. Like it's so crisp and beautiful. These
Dragon, I don't think it's actually hand drawn, but it feels hand drawn, right?
I mean, I think it's hand drawn directly onto the computer. It's not CG though.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But like the way they're doing it now is just this is it's very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. It's like if it's basically like, what if we could take like the classic Peanut stuff, we could update. It's essentially what we've done here. We've given it like a crisper, richer, like it's the most HD the Peanuts could ever look.
Sure.
In 2D without doing like the movie thing. We're making 3D without the exception of that. All right, so Charlie Brown, Franklin, Charlie in his Christmas outfit, or homaging all the greatest hits.
Oh yeah.
This really, this got me. Charlie Brown, fundamentally as a character, is not a quitter. He says,
hell yeah. I feel
that's
like this
why
sums up Charlie Brown to a T.
That's why we'll ride or die for Charlie Brown. He's not a quitter. Life throws the worst imaginable curveballs at this poor kid. They literally throw rocks at the boy, and he doesn't give up. He's going to get all those rocks. He will try and kick that football until he breaks his back. He's going to keep trying. He's not a quitter. So, of course, he's going to be down there trying to put that cart back together. Anyway, so there's a lot of work, and they're doing it in the rain, but they can do it.
I love the beat of it starting to rain and them just laughing it off. That's great. I feel like
Yeah.
that's like almost kind of like a perfect representation of Charlie Brown's attitude.
Absolutely. So it's the day of the race. Great vehicle designs all across the board. A lot of them.
Again, it really makes me yearn for a Charlie Brown Mario Kart clone Dragon. It really does.
I got that vibe. I was watching it. It was yeah. It's like it's a little Mario Kart mixed with
Yeah,
the Hanna-Barbera racers thing, like
wacky
the
racers. Yeah,
wacky
totally,
racers,
totally.
yeah, a little whack or Cannonball Run, what have you, everything. So I love this. We're using every part of the Buffalo, Tiki. We use in terms of like the Peanuts IP. We're using the weird twins that we never use again.
Okay, I want to ask you about that, Dragon. What is the deal with them?
That's what I'm saying. They were just they were seat filler Peanuts characters for the Christmas special. We never
They're
did.
so weird. They're
That's
so
all they.
weird. They're like Peppermint Patty's like younger twin sisters or something.
That's the thing. We only need them because we need that overhead dance shot. That's the only
Oh
reason they're
man.
there.
Okay. Got it.
That's all. We just need
that is like the deepest of deep cuts right there.
Yeah. So here they're doing the checklist. So we're actually giving stuff to do here.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Speaking of stuff to do, Sally, I really love how she's pretty much like entirely absent from this special, except for one very, very crucial plot point.
Yep.
Which we'll get to.
I think Sally might have gotten the special too. I think maybe.
I could see that.
Oh, you know what? I think it was like they did. I think they did an Earth Day special, like a new one.
Really? Huh.
I think so because there's this thing where Sally picked this flower and she's trying to protect this flower.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
so she ever got a Valentine's Day special centered around her?
Well, not a new one that's centered around her, but clearly she's in like the original, Be My Valentine.
I'm just saying, like it'd be really interesting to kind of like explore. Like, I feel like that's something like that is something that Apple would be good at, was in terms of exploring the dynamics of these characters. Like maybe Sally coming to terms with her crush on Linus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be a really interesting avenue to go down for a Valentine's special. Anyways.
Yeah. Okay, so Sally has like this sign with Linus's face on it. Rooting for a sweet baboo. All right, so our guys show up at the last minute to get in there for the race, and with the racing the Johnny Be Good by the wonderful Chuck Berry.
Yeah.
Not Marty McFly, but Chuck Berry. Just for the historical out there.
Well, listen to this.
It's your cousin, Marvin Berry.
Oh my god.
It's just so funny that he's gonna spell that out. Like, you know who this is.
That is like movie exposition at its finest.
You know that new sound you're looking for? Well, listen to this. All right. So we have the dual control of the driver brake man. Go out here. As you say, Mario Kart fun and shenanigans, good teamwork between Charlie Brown and Franklin. Meanwhile, again, Linus and Pigpen, they use the whole It's a sailboat!
I love that. I freaking love that.
A lot of people would say, I can't see the GT sailboat!
Wait, what's that from?
Mallrats.
Oh, right. Okay. Got it. Okay.
Anyway,
I don't want to watch Mallrats. Anyways.
I love Mallrats. Anyway, you know what? Because it's clerks in a mall, Tiki.
That is correct, Dragon. And I also feel like Mallrats kind of like established like the modern day pop culture image of Stan Lee. I'm sure we've gone over this before.
Yeah, it's Stan Lee's first legit role. Honestly, I think I'd say it's more than a cameo we gave him. It's a full,
yeah, I would say it's a full blown like minor supporting role. Yeah.
In all seriousness, he loved Kevin Smith until the day he died because Kevin Smith gave him he's like the only person who gave him an actual role in something.
Oh my god.
Like his actual.
One day there needs to be a biopic made about Kevin Smith and Stan Lee. Seriously,
like imagine Tuesdays with Maury, but like Saturdays with Stan.
Exactly.
Yeah. Seriously, I love that. I still think, it's never going to happen. I still really wish that we would have passed on like the cameo torch maybe to Kevin Smith or something. Like he could have been the ambassador, man.
You know what? To this day, I am still in love with the idea of Kevin Smith as the silent passenger on Star Tours.
Yes,
all the really over the top facial expressions. I'm in love with that idea.
I am still proud of that pitch. I'm still proud of that.
You should be, my friend. You should be.
I can picture it so clearly.
I know.
Just seeing him through the window, just like with his hands like in front of his eyes, basically like as if he would speak like just
Oh my god.
Anyway, so so again, our racers are kind of like Snoopy and the pit crew. They have a rocket, but rockets explode. No, they have a rocket. They have a rocket. fires them off, and then of course goes too far, and everything's getting spun out of control there. So we're knocking out some of the carts there. Not all of them, just a few. So Charlie Brown and Frank. It basically boils down to in the lead. You have Charlie Brown and Franklin catching up to Lucy and Schroeder. And Charlie Brown, he comes in with that. We had a moment here. I was psyched out of my mind about it. So Charlie Brown has this great strategy with the curve. Like, hey, don't. We're not going to hit the brake during the curve. So Charlie Brown has grown in the arc here of like, okay, I'm not going to hit the brake. We got this. So there's a lot of trust here, and Franklin's on board. It's actually a good plan. Unfortunately, Sally, she accidentally knocks over the ice cream cart.
Let's break this down. Because this is honestly probably the biggest laugh in the special for me.
Yeah.
I love the absurd kid logic of like, what's this rope doing here? Someone could get hurt. I don't know. That is like little kid logic to a T, Dragon. I love that.
Oh, yeah. So the ice cream cart, the snack cart goes. And here's the opportunity that had me psyched in my mind, like before the ice cream cart thing happened. It's like, oh my God, Charlie Brown could actually win, but there's a loophole, so we wouldn't violate the God-ridden rule of the Peanuts, or Charlie Brown can't win. And here's the thing: Franklin is driving. He's party to it, but Charlie Brown is not driving. So there is a loophole that, at least me, the viewer, I'm thinking maybe he's got a shot this time. Because he's not driving. This is Franklin's special. Franklin's driving.
Oh, I like that loophole.
It's like this might do it for him. I mean, he'll be party to the oh my God. So I'm getting invested in thing, and then that happens. Like, oh no.
What do you think, Saul? Yeah, I think it holds up in court. Sounds legit.
So Franklin, he makes the sacrificial play so everyone else would have an equal opportunity to win. He takes the ice cream cart.
I love the role reversal here. It's so simple. It's almost kind of like screenwriting 101, but I love it. It's pulled off flawlessly.
And Charlie Brown, this show, man, this just makes you fall in love with Charlie Brown.
He wants that win so goddamn bad, Dragon.
And he's earned that win, okay? Literally, Charlie Brown has been hitting that brake all throughout this. He's the one saying, "No, I don't want
ice cream. They'll be fine."
Exactly. It's just like Charlie Brown, every fiber of his being just wants to not hit that brake, but Franklin says hit the brake, and he knows I can't not hit. We trust each other. We're a team. Yeah. I have to hit that brake, and he knows you're a good man, Charlie Brown. They'll make a play about it. You're a good man.
Mark Rent.
Mark Hamill will play your dog, son.
Wait, really? Mark Hamill played Snoopy in that?
Yeah, and you're a good man, Charlie Brown.
Yeah. He wasn't in the original cast, but yeah, that's trippy. All right, anyways.
Yeah. I think there's like a picture of him wearing the dog here. I think there's
some really interesting people that have played Snoopy over the years. Honestly, it's an eclectic mix.
Yeah, Cranston could play the heck out of that dog.
Oh my God! Oh, I feel like that's one post-Breaking Bad role he would actually crush and not be.
Now that could be his Oscar turn right there. They do the film version of You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. They get Cranston playing the dog. There you go.
Film version of You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown is a very interesting prospect, honestly.
Yeah. Wouldn't even have to say a word. Cranston could do it. Okay, anyway, so there's the crash. They spin out. They do like we link up to the beginning of the whole special. Lucy wins, and she's got a speech prepared and everything. And then Charlie Brown, he's justifiably upset here, and he's voicing this to Franklin. He's not yelling at him, but he's like, oh, I can't believe it.
Uh-huh.
So Franklin confesses he thought winning this race would help him fit in. But because he couldn't let the others like not be able to finish the race. And Charlie Brown, he says like, no, look, Frank, I'm not disappointed. This is like the friendship I've cultivated with you is like the best thing that's happened to me in a while.
Yeah, that was nice. That was a nice line. Yeah.
Yeah. So he enjoyed like befriending him and building the cart and everything. And the moral of like, it's not. Sorry. Yeah, basically, it's about him not realizing that there's like Franklin's experience of having difficulty making new friends. Like Charlie Brown seeing himself in Franklin in this moment.
Sure.
And the whole thing of like I care about you, Franklin, and together we're gonna fit. And together they finish the race.
Uh-huh.
So I love they're literally carrying this thing like the wheels are gone at this point. There's like
right.
Just holding up the thing and just like walking like they're doing the
Like the
Flintstone
ultimate
stuff.
symbolic victory.
It's a Flintstones victory if I've ever seen one.
Oh my god, it totally is.
Yeah.
The Flintstones card would be an unlockable bonus in the Mario Kart clone Dragon.
Just imagine like the finale of the first Cars film, only like instead of them, we're picking up the body of the cars and we're walking over.
Oh jeez. Oh god.
All right, let's see. So okay, so
I will say when I went to that car museum in Gatlinburg, the Flintstones car was probably one of the top 5 ones in that museum that I geeked out the most over. That was pretty cool to see in person.
The Flintstones mobile is one of the most perfectly designed vehicles I've ever seen.
I mean, say what you will about the 90s live action Flintstone movie. The plot of that movie is kind of hot garbage. The script is kind of but the production design was so on point.
I want to be clear. Okay, the plot of the first Flintstones movie is meh. The plot of the prequel, that is hot garbage.
That is hot garbage. Yes,
although I want to make it very clear.
I have a soft spot for Rock Vegas, and
I have a soft spot for the original Flintstones.
I have a soft spot for both of them, but Rock Vegas was really nostalgic for me. Rock Vegas was like one of the big like after my initial wave of going to the movies with The Lion King and Toy Story basically Rock Vegas was the first movie that I saw in theaters when I started going to see movies in theaters on a regular basis. That's kind of like the milestone that Rock Vegas.
At least here's the thing: the live action Flintstones at least gives you like that moment, whether the plot is like as good as it could be or not. It's just this I think of like, man, that's what it would look like in live. I'm convinced that's what it would look like. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. If we didn't real life, that's pretty much it.
I will say the third one, maybe not so much.
The third one,
I believe the third one was a Cartoon Network exclusive, and it was like, I'm pretty sure it was like an even further back origin than Rock Vegas was. I don't know.
I don't think that's a thing. I think you're making that up.
I don't know. By the way, Dragon, you know what movie's turning 30 years old this year?
Well, I know the Flintstones is.
So maybe retrospective?
Well, I think I'm pretty sure we already did the retrospective on that when we did the Flintstones theme month.
And Rock Vegas too? Yeah, you're right. We did. We did.
I mean, you could double check it. I'm pretty sure we did.
Damn. I feel like I want to talk about those movies again. Anyways.
I want to have Inspector Gadget just for the heck of it. I mean, it wouldn't be an anniversary. We could just do it for the heck of it. Anyway. So, okay, so the boys are carrying the soapbox car across the finish line. All the gangs rally and form and cheering them on. Lucy kind of gets a little sobering lesson, like even though she won the race, these guys, she's like the chick Hicks in this situation. Well, she didn't make him crash, but still,
Right.
All right, let's see. So they carry the car. Lucy, she compliments Franklin. Free pizzas on her and Schroeder tonight. Snoopy parachutes, and he's okay. We didn't kill the dog. He's okay.
Yay! Wouldn't it be funny if this was like the canonical death of Snoopy?
The horrible way you do is
I mean, obviously it wouldn't be funny, but wouldn't that be
no,
weird?
you sicko, he's killing off America's dog.
Oh god!
But
Just like
so Matt,
offhand, like as a footnote to the Franklin origin story. By the way, Snoopy's dead.
no, of course, it makes no sense. No, here's the thing. Given it's Franklin's origin story, by definition, okay, that means Snoopy has to survive at the end of the story.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Okay, unless you go the really sadistic route of like Snoopy never came home, and Charlie Brown's parents just.
Dragon, you know what I think I was thinking of with the Flintstones live action thing? I'm terribly sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
I think I was thinking of that really terrible Velma and Daphne movie.
Yes, that's Scooby Doo, Tiki.
Yeah, I know that's Scooby Doo, but
it's not the
Flintstones.
Network.
I apologize for getting the wires crossed.
Anyways. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was making me doubt my Flintstones knowledge there, buddy boy. It's like, wait a minute, that's impossible. I would never. They did that whole.
I just Mandela effect you.
I was thinking like, there's no way that's a thing. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
No, you're right. I didn't. I'm glad I fact checked myself.
Anywho. But yeah, so again, so the dog's okay. Then we go to the pizza parlor. We're having again, this pizza parlor is awesomeness incarnate. It's got root beer by like giant beer mugs of root beer. You got jukebox. We got pinball. It's a happening place. They welcome Franklin like he's Norm from Cheers, practically.
Uh-huh. Oh, also, but yeah, we got to bring up the moment I was talking about with the one of the most heartfelt adult interactions in all of Peanuts, I think, is when Franklin's parents wah him back to the house, and Franklin's like, "Did you see what me and my friend Charlie Brown just did?" Dragon, I don't know, for some reason that just really warmed my heart. That just really got to me.
It is really nice. I'm with you. No, you're right. In terms of like, this is something kind of like really just
because obviously the parents in Charlie Brown are pretty much exclusively used as gags, so it was really nice to see like a genuine like heartfelt moment using the adults.
Oh yeah.
All
right. So in setting that up, then we have the bit where so Franklin has entered, and we learn that his dad has taken a new job, and they're all like, everything's like that jukebox stops and everything. Like, oh no, we're gonna lose. We just stopped Franklin. We just did a whole decade-old special to his origin story. We're gonna lose him.
Would that be cruel? Wouldn't that be cruel if it's like, no, Franklin's gone?
Then it'll be like when we do the Thanksgiving special. Like, hey, Franklin has come back after all this time. He has returned to us. I meant to mention this earlier. But
somehow Franklin returned.
Speaking of the Thanksgiving thing, well, actually, hold on. We'll get there. Sorry, we'll circle back. Anyways, Franklin is staying, and everyone's happy about this. Hooray! And they're inviting him to, he's making himself a home in town. Like, hey, we got a baseball league. You want to join us? Like, sure. Joe Cool with the coal train. Yeah, and they're celebrating with pizza and everything, and then we have this little fourth wall break here in those glorious of ways.
Dragon, it's what I like to call in this special capital T, the capital M moment. The moment.
So as he's friends breaking the fourth wall, he's saying he learned a lot about friendship via the race, and friendships are not perfect. Again, smartly showed with the low point, and he's sitting with the guys, but initially he is he's sitting across from them. We do the zoom out. And it is an exact. I was freaking out. I was like, "Oh man, T's gonna love this."
Like I said, I literally screamed. I literally screamed.
I knew you were gonna like.
I was just like, "Oh my god!"
Tiggy's vindicated. They called out. Yeah,
it was honestly maybe one of the top 5 like most nerd out moments of my entire life. Honest to God. Oh man, it really was like a full circled moment for me.
Took about.
All right, would you like to explain exactly what the shot is, Dragon, and why it's big for me?
Yes. So in the Thanksgiving special, the Peanuts, you'll notice the seating arrangement is really askew. It's really lopsided. Where Here's the thing: it's a weird
I
animation error.
truly don't think it was intentional. It's just very, very, very unfortunate in retrospect.
That's the thing. I attest that it was because of this weird animation error that you see there, where there were more chairs, and they randomly between shots, chairs disappear, leaving Franklin all by himself on the opposite side. And the way they have it arranged, those characters do need to be in those spots, but unfortunately, the division of because they don't want characters across from each other in that scene. And again, Franklin's gag is that he's low in the broken chair, which is not helping the situation in terms of maybe an inequality.
Oh yeah, oh my god, I forgot about the broken chair. Oh my god, yeah. I think that element is what really makes it look bad in retrospect.
It's the fact that someone had to be saddled with the broken chair for that gag to work. Unfortunately, it ended up being Franklin, who was kind of seemingly isolated and everything from that. But again, I think it stems mostly from the fact that those chairs disappear in that shot, and we had too many, which was like, why do we have so many chairs and we only have so many people there? And then it's ridiculous. Anyway, so in the zoom out shot, you really see it. So we paralleled that, we homaged that shot perfectly here, where Franklin's is by himself across the table from them. They're all on the other side, and they said, "Hey, Franklin, come sit over here with us." And they make a space for him, and he sits on down. And it's like, yes, vindication. We've given him a seat at the table in all the senses of the word. Yes.
I really just fucking love that as just like an acknowledgement of like, yeah, folks, with that shot, we may or may not have been meaning to say anything with it, but we acknowledge it looks bad. It looks bad. It's bad optics.
It took him almost 60 years, Tiki.
I know.
Okay, you want to hear, like, I might sound crazy with bringing this up, but I think this has to be the deepest cut reference to a Thanksgiving special they put in there. Beyond that, Tiki, even beyond the table.
Really, beyond the table? Because honestly, the table is like one of the coolest deep cuts. Like,
are you ready to have your mind blown?
Okay.
So this being essentially a de facto prequel to the Thanksgiving special in a sense, because it comes before. It's the origin. It's the introduction of Franklin. You have to imagine that Rob Armstrong, he looked at that special. Hence the reason this gag is in there with the table. But earlier in the special, he and Franklin joked about having like a cool handshake. A cool handshake?
Right.
If you remember in the Thanksgiving special,
oh my God,
everyone comes over. Franklin,
yes.
they have like little kind of like smooth little hand, like little slap me five sort of thing going on there. So it's essentially it's the cool handshake.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
So this has to. I'm convinced the reason we have that scene in there is in reference to like when he walks into Charlie Brown's house, he just has that unspoken like really cool guy handshake with him. For sure. That's the origin of the handshake. They finally ironed it out by Thanksgiving. They got it. So anyway, so things are looking great there. We have the Franklin has moved into his room properly. He's unpacked everything. We see the he has like he's unpacked everything. He has like the photograph of all the peanuts from this cell. Actually, sorry, not from the pizza parlor. At an ice cream parlor, all the Peanuts gang, they all have like all the ice cream. And guess what? Not vanilla in the bunch.
Right.
In that picture, because Franklin's there, there's no vanilla at all in that ice cream photo. At the very least, there's like there's not just plain vanilla anywhere. He's increased the variety of being there, and we have like the nice line about if home is like home is being surrounded by good friends, and it's like, who said that? I did.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so just utterly wonderful. And then we have the post credit gag with Sally in the wagon.
God, I love how that came back. That's great.
Yep, and that's it.
All right. Okay, so final thoughts, and we'll shout out some comments and get out of here. Final thoughts on your end?
Final thoughts. Again, man, Apple TVs, again, as much as we're frustrated by them at times, particularly in the accessibility of certain things, they do it right with the Peanuts, man.
It also sounds like the layout kind of definitely needs some work from what you're describing. Like, that does not sound like a good situation.
I'm operating through the TV, so I don't know how it looks on the other platforms, because I'm lucky enough to get it on the TV, period. But let's just say, but regardless, it's Apple does a lot of things questionably, but the one thing they actually do know what they're doing with, it's the Peanuts, man. I mean, getting it right, and it's been a joy to see him put out these new Peanuts things, and just giving like Franklin his big moment in the sun, as per like this whole like let's highlight and showcase and layer the existing Peanuts characters that we haven't really spent. Charlie Brown's always the front man. Like half the titles of all the Peanut stuff is, the Charlie Brown Snoopy show. Like it's Christmas time, Charlie Brown. It's Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. It's always like we're explaining things to Charlie Brown,
right? Right.
But finally, we've done something for Franklin. We've done it well, and it feels meaningful, and it's not preachy. It's not in your face, but also I think this is a perfect thing to show kids around Black History Month. And I think that again, I wish we had an easier way to show it to them.
I would vouch
DVD.
that. I definitely hope this becomes like a tradition in schools.
I think if
I think this is the perfect sort of thing to show in a school.
They put it on Blu-ray or DVD or something, then yes.
Indeed.
They won't.
Indeed.
Well, actually, scratch that. They haven't done it yet for the Peanut stuff, I don't think, but they have. I mean, eventually, some of the Apple stuff has like Defending Jacob.
I mean, Apple has pretty big name people working for them, so yeah.
It's weird because some things like Defending Jacob, that's a show that got a DVD release, and yet Spirited has not.
Oh, that's weird.
That's what I'm saying. So I can never really obviously,
Spirited was like a pretty major theatrical release. Yeah.
Now, Killers of the Flower Moon surely will have to get a.
You would hope so. Yeah.
So based on that, so you have to imagine at some point they do a collection of the Peanuts things. I would love to get the collection of the new Peanuts shorts that Apple has done, including this. I think that would be. That'd be great. I was very pleased by this, and I think this is a great way. I think it was an excellent finale for us of all things.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%. Yeah. You know what I really appreciate about this special, Dragon, is like it's obviously it's a great kind of showcase of the character, kind of giving him more of backstory and everything. I really appreciate how many deep cut references there are in here that are super meaningful, and like, you know me, Dragon, I will call out member berries when I see it. That is one of my favorite phrases to use. I honestly think, for as many deep cuts as there are here, I don't think there's any member berries. I really don't. I think the deep cuts and the references are used so thoughtfully that there's no, like, hey, remember this? Look, we're doing this, guys. Hey, I think it's all just so thoughtfully put together, and it really just blows me away. I truly think this is, like, among the absolute great Peanuts things ever. I truly do. I really think this is something special. I think this is going to stand the test of time in a way that those kind of like awkward post-holiday specials just really didn't. So yeah, great thing to end on, Dragon, for sure.
Yeah, it's a whole new brand of cereal, my friend.
All right. Okay, so just a couple comments from Kogias, and then we'll get out of here. It's cool that they gave Franklin his own special, since there are a lot of versions of Peanuts where he's just there and doesn't do a lot. Yeah, I feel like that's most of the time he's on screen, is that right there. Okay, Kogia says, I would like to see various comic creators get cameos, and I'm pretty sure he's referring to like the kind of like as sort of like a passing the torch to Stan Lee. So really quick, Dragon, who do you think would be good in that regard? Because honestly, I'm kind of having trouble. Like, a lot of comic creators are, like, they're not the most camera professional people in the world, Dragon. I'll say that much.
Well, I mean, on one hand, like, the depressing thing is we're losing a lot of the greats who would have been really perfect. For example, Neil Adams would have been a lot of fun. Now, in terms of like who would be a practical answer, I mean, I also don't feel like there's many
that are like very recognizable. I think that's the problem. Even if they're like, even if they be good on camera presences.
Well, there are two that come to mind that actually might work for Batman stuff. I mean,
Alan Moore.
Well, not him, but a fun one.
Yeah. If he just randomly popped up, and if he just randomly cameoed in something.
Well, so the go-to, the actual really good answer would be Paul Dini. Paul Dini would be great cameo.
That is a solid answer. That's a solid answer.
So Dini's the go-to, but I mean the deeper cut would be
just recognizable enough that a certain portion of the audience would know it was him. Yeah.
So Dini, I think, is the best option because he very much is like in the Kevin Smith vein, obviously, and beyond that, I would say Scott Snyder. I'd like to see.
Scott Snyder would be a good one. I mean, he's obviously one of the better modern day writers. I just don't really know if he's all that recognizable.
He's got
to the layman, basically, to the average person.
He does have like a unique look. He has like this raised eyebrow thing going on. So I think he could. I think he could develop like you recognize him. Sort of. The other one. Now here's another one that'd be actually really good that people would get a real kick out of. He actually could legitimately show. I think James Gunn might try working some comic creators and cameos in the movies. I legitimately think so. Mind you, all my examples are really DC based, but Tom King has a lot of personality. He's got a distinct look, and he's very personable. And his catchphrase, he has a catchphrase even. Hi, I'm Tom.
God,
that's pretty much it. It's like
what that reminds me of?
Yeah,
it reminds me of the Jimmy Neutron production logo.
I know it's the orangutan. Yeah, the orangutan at the end.
Yeah. All right, Kogias is saying, give Frank Miller a cameo when they adapt The Dark Knight Strikes Again and All-Star Batman and Robin. Oh, God. Kogias, you have no idea how much I want an adaptation of All-Star Batman and Robin. Dragon knows this.
Yeah.
Make it tongue-in-cheek. Acknowledge that the story is fucking ridiculous. Acknowledge that this is total Elseworlds bullshit. Oh, man, I want that. I want that so bad. All right.
Okay, now the person that Kogias is referencing, that's John Ostrand. I've met him. He's the guy who injects the bombs in the Suicide Squad neck.
Okay, cool.
That's who he's referring to there. But yes, as I'm saying, because of that, it makes me think that Gunn would put comic talent in those movies. So
Right. I could totally see Gunn putting some animated series people in there.
I could see, now she's not an animated series person, but Amanda Connor, she's really notable for Harley Quinn. She's an excellent comic artist. She's she's easy on the eyes. I think she could easily be kind of worked in there.
All right. And oh God, I'm just realizing this is a really awkward last comment to end on, but fuck it. I really like the first live action Flintstones film. That is a really random last comment to end on, but
I too like that live action Flintstones.
You know what? Like I said, I definitely think from a plot point of view, it definitely has some problems, but it's borderline perfectly cast, and the production design is impeccable. It's absolutely impeccable production design. It's beautiful production design. Anyways, oh boy! All right. All right, well, I think that's about it. Kogias, big thanks for being here, as always, my friend. All right, well, that's all for now, folks. Until next year, when we further educate ourselves and learn the world's not simply black or white, but brimming with color, as well as character.
Next time on Black History Heroes.